to the podcast mobile.
Wait, what?
Well, ready when you are, old chum.
All right. Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris. That's Bill, and today we're watching Batman, the movie from 1966. The movie with the DVD cover that's a little misleading, honestly.
Sometimes.
My
DVD cover is not misleading.
Okay.
But then The Dark Knight came out, and the DVD became very misleading.
Yes. So I guess Batman from the 60s. Very fun, technicolored, goofy Batman.
Campy Batman.
Because it is like mostly a comedy, the show.
It's an action comedy.
Yeah.
The way they deliberately designed the show would be the adults are laughing at the humor and the kids are just enjoying the adventure because the adventure is still played straight because Batman takes his world seriously even though his world is very silly.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, you know, I've watched Adam West Batman, like, you know, since I was little. And I've always liked it, but, like, you know, watching the movie, I guess, like, one thing that I was kind of, like, wondering about with the movie was, like, when was this made in, like, connection to the show? Because was this, like, before season 2 or, like...
It was made in between the first and second season.
Okay. Because I always thought the movie was maybe, like, a finale to the show.
No,
but, like,
it was not.
It's definitely not. And
no.
Watching this again, I'm like, oh, yeah, I've seen this movie a bunch of times.
Because for the longest time, this is the only part of the Adam West Batman you could even own.
Yeah. It's kind of funny, too, because, you know, the more I think about it, I'm like, so Adam West Batman, smartest live-action Batman?
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's got some crazy science on his side.
Yeah. He's, like, really smart. He's got the detective work, you know. It's interesting. So, Bill, what did you think of Batman, the movie?
Oh, man, this is a fun, weird movie, but it's also got two very famous, iconic things from it. I would say the two most famous things to come from this movie are the bat shark repellent.
Yes.
And my personal favorite.
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
To me, that's the best part of the whole movie.
It is pretty good. It's got a lot of, like, oh no, nuns. Oh no, kids. Oh no.
From A Couple in Love.
Yeah.
That stupid marching band again.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's Batman from the 60s. You know, it's high camp. Adam West, Burt Ward, Batman and Robin.
Yep.
You know, kind of pretty iconic. But yeah, you know, it's funny watching this. You know, I guess it was theatrically released, right?
Yes, this was on the big screen.
And I was wondering too. I was just like, was the Bat helicopter only in the movie?
No, I do kind of remember being in the show, but I believe the Batcopter were both introduced in this movie.
Okay.
I think they had the budget to make a couple new vehicles and shoot a ton of stock footage.
Yeah, because I know the motorcycle, which has like the little sidecar and go-kart, which like that sidecar looks very uncomfortable to ride in.
Yeah, it does.
It's just kind of like, oh man.
I'm pretty sure that was the second Batcycle. I think there was a different one before that.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was introduced here or not.
Yeah.
You know, I almost had a chance to ride in the Batcopter.
Oh man.
Yeah, they had it at the State Fair several years back, and I should have went.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could ride the Batcopter.
So cool. But yeah, I don't know, you know, 1960s Batman, I always have like a soft spot for it. Like, you know, the outfit is very much like just like a, you know, like costume. Like, but,
yeah.
You know, there's no armor or anything.
Pure West.
But I don't know, the world is just like so like different. It's just like, here's Gotham City, bright sunshine, palm trees. Because I assume they shot in California.
Well, yeah, it was a TV show.
Yeah.
Of course they did. You know, this is a very clean Gotham. Batman and Robin are duly deputized agents of the law.
Yeah.
The villains, they don't kill. They're just criminals. They're just thieves.
And they're not even called villains. They're called like super criminals. Like, and they have like a database of super criminals. And, you know, we get 4 super criminals in this movie: Joker, Penguin, Riddler, and Catwoman.
The second Catwoman for this era.
Yes.
The original being Julie Newmar, who was not available for the movie. So she's played by Lee Merriweather. And of course, famously in the 3rd season, they got Eartha Kitt.
Right. Yeah, you know, it's funny because, like, this version of these villains, too, is, like, sometimes, like, I think the Riddler looks really cool when he's wearing his Riddler, like, suit and tie. But then like he looks really lame when he's in his like jumpsuit.
Yeah, I think Gorshin probably preferred the suit too.
Yeah.
I bet it does look better.
Also, one thing about the movie, and I can't say for the show, but what's with like all the criminals having their like crime masks too? Like even the Joker has like his like crime mask.
I feel like that might have only been in this movie. Maybe they pop up in some other episodes, but I think it was just a visual gag, just to look funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but I like all the villains. They're all like over the top. Like you got the Penguin,
Played by Burgess Meredith from the
Yeah.
Rocky movies.
which is hilarious.
Wah, 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 wah.
It's so weird that he constantly does that. So different than like Penguin in 2024.
Oh man, imagine if they met.
Man. It's just like imagine that Penguin in the 2024 show instead of the one we have now. It's like the show's exactly the same, except it's that version of the Penguin.
Oh man, that'd be weird.
It's so bizarre. But yeah, and then the Riddler, who it's funny because in this movie I always get confused that like who's laughing, the Riddler or the Joker.
No, the Riddler in this has a very distinctive laugh.
Yeah, it's more of a cackle. And I don't know why, but like that Cesar Romero Joker like always just seems like classic Joker to me. Like maybe
Kind
it's
of
just
is.
because it's like the first one I ever saw, but
It's
like
the first one there ever was.
yeah,
in
like
live
the
action.
just the look and everything, like the way he like acts. It's weird too because it's like Joker, almost seems like he's like the least important villain out of all of them in this movie, and it's like it's the Joker.
I know, but in this era, like this show, especially in like the first season, and he kind of comes back in the third because he kind of had a falling out with the producer. But like the star villain was kind of the Riddler because I don't know, I feel like he appeared a lot more, and he was like kind of more popular coming out of it. And yeah, Cesar Romero Joker's fine, but I don't know, there was something about that Frank Gorshin Riddler, and I don't know, just maybe they just like, oh, we just got two cackling goofs. We're kind of just leaning on the guy in the green for some reason.
I mean,
And Joker, when he can't kill anybody, is a little toothless, so
yeah.
all he can be is just the clown prince of crime, throwing pies at people and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's more or less like the guy that pushes buttons and says "yo ho," like
Well, that's just in this movie.
yeah,
When they're all teaming up, someone's got to do something.
yeah,
Riddler's shooting off riddles into the sky. Penguin's kind of calling all the shots, and Catwoman's being all like the femme fatale, and so Joker's got to just be like, "I me hate this scurvy and all that."
yeah. Joker's just being funny.
He's just along for the ride. He's just there for fun because
Yeah.
he's the Joker. Joker likes to have fun.
I will say the Riddler looks really good when he's wearing that like green like tuxedo. Like that's like the best look for him, really.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird when he's wearing his like really tight like crime suit.
I can't imagine that was comfortable.
Yeah,
If I was Frank Gorshin, I would have been like, no, can I just be in the suit?
yeah.
Can I just only be in the suit?
Yeah, the suit looked cool. And then there's Catwoman in this movie too, which she's also like this. I guess disguised as like this Russian lady.
This Russian reporter called Miss Kitka,
Yes.
who seduces Bruce Wayne quite successfully.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I was pretty surprised when like Bruce Wayne said like he had a line that was like something along the lines of like maybe this will help international relations or something. It's just like, whoa, Batman 66.
I know a lot of the reason why that subplot even exists is because Adam West wanted to do some more Bruce Wayne stuff.
Okay.
So they added the whole subplot with him getting captured and dancing around with Miss Kitka so he could come off as like suave and cool.
I like the Bruce Wayne stuff. It's kind of cool that like Bruce Wayne literally just fights people too. Like,
And they're none the wiser.
yeah, it's just like, wow, Bruce Wayne could really like kick some ass. It is funny too, like, watching this and like seeing like Adam West like be like, super young, and you're just like, damn, okay, yeah, no wonder why he was Bruce Wayne. Look at that man. He's gorgeous. Like, but yeah. It's funny too, because I think like you briefly see Robin not as Robin in this movie, but
Sporadically, but he doesn't really have much to do.
I can appreciate that they're mostly Batman and Robin in this movie though.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I liked it as a little kid, because it was just like he was just Batman most of the time.
I mean, that was the show a lot of the times too.
Yeah.
Like we would see them as Bruce and Dick in the beginning, and then they would just be Batman. And maybe sometimes they'd come back to Wayne Manor, maybe sometimes they wouldn't.
Yeah.
What's funny is like one of the cast of the show is like she's just in the movie for like 2 seconds is Dick's Aunt Harriet.
Oh yeah.
you see her like gardening and you see her watching TV with Alfred, but she has no lines, which it's weird. She's just there.
Yeah.
They don't give her even like a couple one-liners. It's like, oh dear, what's happening here, Alfred?
Yeah, I always forget about that character in the movie too. Just like in the show in general, because like Alfred is there, which is great.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know why they even bothered with that character.
Yeah.
I think maybe they just felt they needed a female character. I don't know.
One character in like the Batman 66 show that's like so stereotypical, but like you got Commissioner Gordon and then you got like Chief O'Hare or whatever. It's just like your like stereotypical Irish cop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Well, they needed to give somebody for Gordon to talk to, and I don't think Bullock existed yet.
Yeah. This was very early. It was
Yeah.
it's like Batman was only around for like 20 years, I guess, when this show came around.
Don't forget, Barbara Gordon didn't even exist yet.
Oh yeah.
She exists as a consequence of this version of Batman.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they wanted more female characters, so they asked DC to create some, so they created Batgirl and Poison Ivy.
Oh, I didn't know Poison Ivy was in Batman 66.
She's not. They never got around to using her, but as a consequence of them being like, can you guys create more female characters? They created the new version of Batgirl. They created Poison Ivy.
Okay.
Maybe if the show didn't get canceled at their season 3, maybe they would have used her.
Okay.
Just like with Two-Face, they had planned to use Two-Face, so they just never got around to it.
Right.
There was a script that got turned into a comic, and then eventually they made that animated movie with.
William Shatner.
Yep.
Which is cool that exists.
Oh yeah,
Like that's fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, the 60s Batman universe is just, I don't know, I like it. It's so weird, though. It's so of the time, I guess,
And don't forget, the 60s Batman contains that rare live-action crossover between two separately owned characters,
Oh, yes. It's Green Hornet, right?
Green Hornet and Kato. They show up in a window in one episode, and they have a full-on two-part crossover.
It's pretty cool. I gotta watch that, It's been a long time since I've actually watched, like, any of Batman 66, but, like, I don't know why, but, like, I think this movie, I must have seen a couple times as a kid, like...
I owned it on VHS as a kid, so I would watch it every now and then.
Yeah. But
Well-
I remember the show just being on as a kid, too. Like,
Yeah, my earliest memories of watching Batman are watching Batman 66.
Yeah.
Hell, the earliest I can think of was an episode, and I still remember watching it. It's like sitting on my couch watching Batman and Robin fighting the Riddler and his henchmen underwater.
Oh, yeah. I
The-
remember that one.
And then not knowing until years later that it wasn't even the Frank Gorshin Riddler. It was the season 2 episode where he was played by John Astin.
Oh, weird.
Freaking Gomez Adams as the Riddler.
Whoa.
That's weird. Like, that is so jarring.
But yeah, it's weird because I guess it's the movie, so, the stakes are the super criminals are trying to take over the world by...
I mean, that's what Batman says, but their real plan is we've abducted all the World Security Council and we're ransoming them each to their individual countries for billions of dollars.
They have that, like, dehydrogenator machine.
Which was made by that Commodore guy who they kidnapped and just kept for some reason.
And the Joker just kept giving him tea.
You think eventually they would just get rid of him?
Yeah.
It's like, why are you keeping this charade up? I mean, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, that's why part of, like, when I was watching this, I was like, how much of a comedy was this actually? Like, I know it wasn't, like, a serious show, but, like, I was just like...
It towed the line.
Yeah,
The characters took their world seriously, but their world was not serious.
yeah.
Batman, he's not a joke. He's straightforward, but he's funny, and his world is funny.
I mean, there's always there's a couple of like scenes in the movie where it's just like they don't show up when Batman's just like, I just got away in the nick of time. Like that happens like twice. With,
I mean, that's expensive.
Yeah.
Thankfully, that porpoise came and dove in the way of that torpedo.
yeah, what a noble animal.
Oh, we crash landed on all this foam rubber.
Yeah.
You know what? One of my favorite little things that shows like, okay, Batman 66 isn't a joke. There's that moment when Penguin dresses up as that Commodore guy, and Batman and Robin are just immediately like, fucking hell is the Penguin doing?
Yeah.
He can't be serious. Like, they don't fall for it.
Yeah.
They just go with it to see what the hell he's up to.
No.
And I like that. I like that he's not an idiot. I like that he can see right through that very bad disguise.
I mean, like, it's pretty bad that the Penguin has like the monocle. There's nothing you can do about his nose, but he has like the cigarette. Like,
can't stop.
Yeah, like,
and he can't go.
always-
And he's always going like, thank you, wah, wah, wah.
I mean, when they like, use the bat knockout gas and the bat wake up gas, he wakes up and he's all like, wah, wah, wah. And it's like, goes back to being the Commodore.
Yeah. I just love it. They're like, Penguin, what are you doing?
I do love like all the gadgets are just like bat whatever,
Oh, yeah.
bat this, bat that.
To a ridiculous degree.
They've got like the bat, like I think it's called the bat charge, where it's just like kind of like a sound bazooka they're shooting like the submarine with.
And even the villain's like, they got bat charges.
Yeah, they just know. It's kind of funny too. Like I don't know, like the world kind of has this like almost like everybody knows who Batman is, and like you know when he calls the Navy, like the Navy guys just like everybody just seems so naive in the world. Like
Yeah, of course we sold this decommissioned military sub to a Penguin who just has a P.O. box and no known address.
yeah. I guess they never said like Penguin's like actual name, like Oswald Cobblepot.
They don't say anyone's real names.
Okay.
Hell, there's a moment when one of the pirates addresses Miss Kicka as Catwoman. She's like, don't you use my real name?
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't have real names. They're just Catwoman, the Joker, the Riddler, and the Penguin.
Yeah. I mean, Catwoman is pretty funny when like she's just making the cat noises while looking through the like scope on the sub, and then like the one henchman kind of like side eyes her, and it's just like, what is up with this lady? She's crazy. She actually has a pet cat, which is pretty good. Of
course.
And the cat actually does something, I guess. Where she just like puts it on the ground, and she's just like, oh, the cat will find the weak spot in the door. And it's just like, oh, the cat found it.
Cat'll scratch your eyes out.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of funny how Bruce Wayne just like falls hard in love with the Miss Kitka.
And then when her mask falls off and he sees her, he's just like, it's like his heart got ripped out. Kudos to Adam West for just like, he plays that moment completely straight. They got like the sad music playing and you just see the look of devastation. And he has to just like shake it off and like just keep going.
I mean, that very much tracks for Batman.
Oh yeah.
You know?
That's like one of the most Batman things to happen. He gets his heart ripped out and stomped
Yeah.
on. Usually by Catwoman.
Yeah, because it's like, even though this is like a very goofy version of Batman, he is still like Batman, like as you would expect Batman to be.
It also just raises some questions like, has Batman never seen Catwoman without her mask?
Guess not.
I mean, she had to have because she gets arrested at the end of episodes. So I'm like, is this? And they kind of play with it in like one of the animated movies where it's like, it's a different person. They had Leah Merriweather play like a different person that the Julie Newmar Catwoman put in her costume and got arrested in her place or something.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, are there just 3 Catwomen in this continuity?
Man, 3 Catwomans, 3 Jokers.
I mean, you know, Eartha Kitt is blatantly is very much a different person.
Very much different.
She's a black woman, so she can't be the same person as Julie Newmar. Like, you could maybe have assumed that the Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather was supposed to be the same person, but then it's like, but then Batman never saw her face. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I guess at this time, Catwoman must have been the only female Batman villain, right?
The only one of note.
Yeah, because like I guess like you know Magpie didn't exist, or like Harley Quinn.
Harley
or,
Quinn didn't exist till the 90s.
I know, and then you know you told me Poison Ivy was technically created for the show,
Yeah.
but yeah, but it's interesting, you know. Yeah, you know, Batman 66 is so weird because, like, you know, I haven't seen it in such a long time, but, like, I would assume it's, like, before, like, Arkham Asylum and stuff like that.
I honestly could not say, but
Yeah.
they don't use Arkham. They just go to prison.
Yeah.
Gotham City Prison.
Yeah.
There's the Joker, and he's in his clown makeup, and he's in a prison jumpsuit.
There you go. Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I would assume the Joker's skin is, like, bleached, right?
I would assume that's what they're going for,
Yeah.
even though,
'Cause he's
what's
in-
going on here?
Oh, I mean, whatever. I mean, he's in the water at one point, and his skin's still bright white.
Yeah, obviously
so,
he's meant to be like the comic book one.
Yeah.
Just ignore the mustache.
Yeah. They do a mostly good job of covering it up.
I mean, when I was growing up, I never noticed it until my mom pointed it out to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess you got to respect Cesar Romero for being like, I'm not shaving my mustache.
Yeah. It's just like, no. But
Absolutely not. Under no certain terms.
I like his Joker, though. He's fun.
Nothing wrong with it.
Like,
I mean, there's nothing wrong with any of the main core villains. They're all like really good portrayals.
Yeah. You know, like all these Batman villains, too, like in this movie, they're just like kind of just more or less like kind of like the very much like iconic versions of these villains that you would expect them to be. Like they've got like the right outfits on and
Yep.
everything. You
They
know?
all look like how they're supposed to look. They
Yeah.
all look like there's no like, we need gritty realism.
Yeah,
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. but they're not like deconstructed versions of these villains. It's just like, yeah,
No.
this is
the Joker.
and this is probably like pretty close to how they were in the comic in like the 50s and
You
stuff.
look at the comics, they all pretty
Yeah.
much look like this. They all look like how they did.
So it was probably like a fairly comic book accurate version of these characters.
One could make the argument that Batman 66 is the most comic accurate Batman we've ever gotten.
Yeah.
Because it's all just, there it is. That's the Penguin. Look at him. He's got his pop belly. He's got his monocle. He's got his little cigarette. He goes, wah, wah, wah. He's got his umbrellas. There's the
Yeah.
Joker. Pale skin, green hair, purple suit. There's the Riddler. Green, question marks, mask, Catwoman. Well, Catwoman's had so many different outfits.
I mean, yeah, but you know, she's Catwoman. You can tell she's Catwoman.
Yeah, she's got cat ears. She's got a mask, black
Yeah.
suit,
Yeah.
sexy as hell.
Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. Like Batman 66 and like that world it's in and everything.
Oh, yeah. Still influential to this very day.
Yeah,
You know, even Matt Reeves, despite his dark, gritty, much more grounded version of Batman, he's a fan of this show. He loves this show.
Yeah.
Hell, for the first time in like 50 years, he put all 4 of these villains in the same movie again.
I guess he did.
He did.
Holy shit! Wow.
The Batman has the Riddler, Catwoman, the Penguin, and the Joker in it.
But the Joker was cut from the Batman though.
He's still in the final scene, towards the end.
I gotta watch it again.
He's in Arkham. He talks to the Riddler. He's still in the movie.
Okay, wow.
He doesn't have that big scene with Batman in the final cut anymore.
Right.
But he's still there, and you only see him from like, you know, kind of in the shadow, but it's still the Joker.
It's interesting.
It's still the 4 of them.
That's weird.
They're in the
like,
movie.
Man, it's like the Batman is a weird remake of this movie.
I guess. Oh no,
Not really.
they're gonna have a submarine.
I mean, there's water in it. Like,
Oh man, that Penguin finale is gonna be very interesting when Penguin starts dehydrating all of Sofia Gigante's goons.
oh my god. Yeah, it is funny, like the night and day difference between like Penguin of the 60s and Penguin of the 2020s.
I
though.
mean, most of these guys with their more modern counterparts, with the exception of like say, the Jim Carrey Riddler is pretty Frank Gorshin like.
Yeah, that's
But then you
true.
put Cesar Romero next to like Nicholson and Ledger.
Yeah,
And like you got these guys. These guys are vicious, psychotic murderers.
yeah. Joker's just goofy.
Yeah.
He's just trying to have fun. But yeah, you know, I don't know. Did the Joker gas ever happen in Batman 66?
I would just say he maybe had laughing gas. Everyone had knockout gas.
Everybody had an
I don't think they ever did the creepy rictus grin. I think that was, I don't know if that existed yet. Plus, it was probably too gruesome for this show.
Okay.
At this point in time, the Joker was very much a watered down character. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't get vicious again until the 70s.
Right. I don't know. You know, it's a fun movie. Like, it's like the, you know, Batman the movie, which is like kind of funny. That it's just like you look up like Batman the movie, and it's like, oh wait, what? From the 1960s, which is kind of like crazy how long Batman has like endured. Where you know, there's very clear, different versions of Batman, even on TV, where they are drastically different than each other. Like, especially if you go from, like, you know, 1966 Batman to, like, 2021 Batman or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just insane how different it is. But it's, like, all the same characters. But,
Very versatile.
yeah.
You know, just, there's a lot you can do with the world of Batman. You could do kind of wacky Batman 66, like Batman Brave and the Bold did. Or you could just go the other way and just be dark and gritty and brutal.
Yeah. It's funny. Just because, like, this world is just, like, you know, Gotham City, like, a terrible cesspool of crime, and it's, like, sunny and...
This isn't that Gotham.
Oh, no.
This is the Gotham where good won,
Yeah.
where justice prevailed.
Yeah. It's super criminals, not super villains. But,
And very rarely do people die. And once in a blue moon did somebody die in Batman 66.
people died in this movie, and it was a big deal.
Yeah. And someone died in, I think, maybe the first episode.
Okay.
Yeah, this girl, I think she was a Riddler henchwoman. She managed to sneak into the Batcave, but then she tried to escape from Batman and climbed his atomic reactor and then fell in.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Batman, why do you have an atomic reactor?
for the Batmobile.
I know.
Atomic batteries to power.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
saying.
I love the 66 Batmobile, too.
Oh, that car is
it's-
beautiful. I love it.
It's such a good-looking car.
The 89 one's still my personal favorite, but I love the 66 car.
Yeah.
I got to sit in a replica of it once, and that was freaking so cool.
I think I read somewhere that this one was like actually like the only one that's actually like street legal or something. Like you could actually drive it. Like all the other ones are not like you couldn't
yeah.
like drive them like
'Cause
on
it's
the road for real.
And
but-
ultimately, it's like mostly just a normal car. You just
Yeah.
need some proper mirrors and seatbelts.
yeah. But yeah, I love that Batmobile. It looks great.
Oh yeah.
And I guess with that being said, I don't know what else I can say more about Batman 66 unless if you've never watched it, give it a try. It's a very different take on Batman, but it's still Batman and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's goofy, it's entertaining, it's charming.
And you know, the Batman theme song is great from the show.
Yep.
I wish they played it a little bit more in the movie.
Yeah, it's not really in the movie.
Yeah, they play kind of this other song in the movie a lot, but that Batman theme song from the show is great.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but they had the bat signal in this movie, but I don't remember it ever really being in the show much, if at all.
Okay.
They mostly use the bat phone.
Ah, yes. But, yep, and I guess that's that, A Touch podcast.